My Hero Academia is back, baby, and that means we are back with another anime versus manga comparison video breaking down Season 6, Episode 1, titled A Quiet Beginning, which is the same title as Chapter 259. We will be going over all of the changes made from the manga to anime adaptation. And if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe with notifications on so that you don't miss an episode. To start things off, Episode 114 begins with a small recap of the end of Season 5, giving us some new shots of Endeavor preparing for the war against the Paranormal Liberation Front. After the recap, we are blessed with a new opening called Hitamuki by Super Beaver. And I gotta say, the aesthetic and style of this opening is very comic booky and I'm digging it. I hope that for the next My Hero Academia movie, Bones uses this style and aesthetic since the opening looked really good and movie-like. Once the opening is over, we are taken back to Hawks at the villa 1 month before the raid. And here comes one of the first continuity changes from the manga, as in the manga this flashback takes place 2 months before the raid and not 1. When Twice asks Hawks for help with his mission statement, the anime adds in new shots of Mr. Compress and Spinner in their meetings with the MLA members, as well as Dabi, Giren, and Toga doing their own thing, as well as the addition of showing Sanctum, the longest serving member of the MLA, that told Twice he needed some sort of mission statement to ease those under his regiment. When Hawks is about to break down the Liberation Front's regiments, the anime replaces the flashback panels with new shots of the villa. The anime also doesn't adapt the panel of how Hawks was able to gather intel by casually mingling in with the other PLF members. Side note, I love how Hawks' attitude completely switches up when Twice leaves. It just shows how serious and determined Hawks is about the mission. Moving on, as Hawks states that the PLF are trying to accomplish the annihilation of heroes to bring down the current system, the anime doesn't adapt this amazing panel of All Might heroically standing amongst all this destruction and chaos, instead replacing it with a shot of All Might's statue in CAMEO. They also replaced the manga panel showing a city being destroyed with a map of Japan and its cities being targeted. The shot of Destro and Trumpet has the background changed as well. All for One, during Hawks' narration, gets an added cameo appearance when Hawks states that it's going to be the second coming of All for One. When Twice thanks Hawks again, the anime doesn't adapt the panel showing Twice telling his right hand to behave because he had accidentally did the hand gesture of telling Hawks that he was going to kill him while thanking him. Another big change comes immediately after this when Hawks says to himself that Twice became a person that they need to fear the most, as the anime removes the possible infinite amount of high-end Nomu that Twice could create alongside the infinite amount of Twice clones. Even though this removal does minimize the threat of Twice just a smidge, I do really appreciate the cool visual we get of the army of Twice clones marching. When Hawks explains to Twice why he emphasizes with the Liberation Army's cause about him wanting to be free and not caged up, the anime doesn't adapt the panel showing the back of Endeavor referencing their talk in the restaurant back during the Pro-Hero arc, where he told Endeavor that he wants to live in a world where heroes have a lot of free time to take it easy. Flash forward to slightly before the raid, we learned during the mission briefing with the heroes that Dr. Ujiko's real name is Dr. Kyudai Garaki. Fun fact, Kyudai Garaki wasn't the original name that Horikoshi gave this character. Originally, when Dr. Ujiko's name was revealed in chapter 259, it was actually revealed to be Dr. Maruta Shiga. This reveal spawned a massive controversy, causing My Hero Academia to get banned in China for a short while. The reason why Maruta Shiga was such a controversial name was because Maruta back in World War II was a name given to victims of human experimentation in Japan, which killed thousands of Chinese and Korean people. The name itself was a perfect fit for the character since it reflected Dr. Ujiko and his actions, as he was a villain who ran human experiments himself via the Nomu. But there were those who took great offense to it since it referenced a dark time in Japan's history, though there were many in support support of this name due to feeling like Horikoshi was acknowledging this terrible moment in history by giving it to a villain, as well as understanding that in various types of fiction, certain characters and groups are named and portrayed after certain people and groups in history that have done bad things. Horikoshi still issued an apology. In Horikoshi's statement, he says that by using the name Maruta Shiga, I have deeply offended a great number of readers. I am truly sorry about this. The character, that being Ujiko, with deep reverence and wanting to feel closer to All For One, he decided to take part of All For One's last name, Shigaraki, and make it his own, that being Shiga. I gave him the first name Maruta because he's round and plump. Any other meaning is coincidental, and I absolutely had no intention of hurting so many readers, which I apologize from the bottom of my heart. Going forward, I will do my utmost to make sure that this sort of thing never happens again. After this, the name was officially changed to Kyudai Garaki in the manga and for the Shonen Jump website. Yeah, it was a big controversy at the time, but let me know what you guys think about that controversy down in the comment section below. Continuing on, the anime adds in some new shots of Garaki, the police force, Gran Torino, Rocklock, Mirko, Wash, Crust, Ryukyu, Snipe, 13, Ectoplasm, the Pussycats, Manual, Endeavor's sidekicks, Endeavor, and some added dialogue from Mandalay, Endeavor, as well as Naomasa, who gives a more detailed explanation of the operation with a cool added shot of how the teams are split up between Team Endeavor and Team Edgeshot. During the mission briefing, the pictures of Garaki and Operation are also displayed on a screen rather than a tablet like in the manga. After this, we get an overhead shot of the heroes in Team Edgeshot's advanced guard, where Chainsaw Man's cameo appearance in the manga is removed for the anime. Horikoshi for the manga inserted Chainsaw Man's protagonist, Denji aka Chainsaw Man, as a cameo in this hero lineup, paying tribute to Tatsuki Fujimoto, the mangaka of Chainsaw Man. For the anime, Chainsaw Man had been replaced with a handsaw guy. Though a disappointing change, this is most likely due to a rights issue with the studios, seeing as how Bones doesn't own the rights to Chainsaw Man, which unfortunately means that we sadly won't be getting our Pochita cameo later in the arc either. It sucks that Chainsaw Man was removed, but I do still find the reference to be really funny, since, you know, it's just a bootleg Chainsaw Man, so it's still really enjoyable to me. Moving on, when Komori is shivering her timbers over facing the League, Midnight walks over to comfort her, where in the manga, she just comforts her from where she was standing. Team Edgeshot's rear guard also gets a lot of added dialogue between some of the Class 1A students, and switching over to Endeavor's rear guard before Burnin gets the cue to move in, Bakugo, Deku, Todoroki, and Ida also get some added dialogue as well. As Team Endeavor's advanced guard storms into Jakku Hospital, Endeavor tells Mirko to head to the morgue, while in the manga, Mirko just heads to the morgue without the order. The man who tells Endeavor to head down the hall is changed from his manga counterpart, where his skin color and hair are completely different. Garaki's little sus face that he makes when walking down the hall also got removed from the anime. Switching over to Natsu and Fuyumi, this whole section of them leaving the house and talking is an anime only edition that deviates from the manga, as when they show up in the manga, Fuyumi actually is just arriving to their house and is greeted by Natsu and his girlfriend. Heading back over to Endeavor's advanced guard, the fear in the doctor and nurse's faces when overhearing what Garaki has done is removed from the anime. The Police HQ is another anime only edition that is never seen in the manga, but is a welcome addition as it does help provide a better understanding on what's going on with each raid team. After this, the action finally begins when the Nomu finally make their entrance to counter-attack the heroes, and the anime gives us an extended scene of them spawning from the ground and walls of the hospital, as well as attacking Endeavor. Props to Bones for really stepping up the animation this season, as it looks like all of our criticism from season 5 really made an impact on them. Switching over to Garaki and Shigaraki in the morgue, we see Mirko beautifully take on the Nomu with very little effort. Here, Bones put in a ton of effort to really show how powerful Mirko is by adding in her gearing up her attack with her muscles flexing super hard. Her casually obliterating the Nomu with such ease is definitely the highlight of the episode for me. Though the blood is a little toned down in this scene, it's still pretty gory in the fact that the Nomu's heads and body parts are still flying everywhere. And of course, after this comes the moment us manga readers have have been dreading since season 6 announcement comes the first character death in the arc when Mirko bursts through the wall and greets Garaki. Our good boy with the dripped out shoes, Johnny, the Nomu, gets squished to death by the wall Mirko broke. Fly high, Johnny. You will be missed. Seriously, F in the comments for Johnny. He was the most dripped out Nomu in the whole entire series. Besides the fat L Johnny took, the episode ends with Mirko confronting Dr. Cute-Eye Garaki. The animation here with Mirko confronting Garaki looked so clean and really has me pumped up for Mirko's big moment in episode 115, since it looks like everything Mirko is going to have amazing animation around it. Now, episode 114 adapts about 3 chapters, them being chapters 258, 259, and 260. This episode was an amazing way to start season 6. No filler, just getting straight into the action, and I can't possibly give Bones enough praise for the massive improvement this single episode alone was compared to the second half of season 5. Definitely put a lot of my worries for season 6 to rest, but this is only the first episode, so we will have to wait and see. Aside from that, I'm really glad Mirko is getting such great animation, and it has me pumped for all of the episodes to come. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on the changes made in episode 114. How is everybody feeling about the first episode of My Hero Academia season 6? Let me know everything in the comment section below. With that said, thank you all for watching another My Hero Academia anime versus manga comparison video. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to Detroit smash that like button below, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. If you are new to the channel and you want to see more My Hero Academia content, then be sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on to join the Kitoroki Hero Academia to become my hero. Doing all of this really does help the channel out a lot, and it's always appreciated. Remember to stay plus ultra, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.